You're listening to the Living Beyond Broken podcast. If your life or the life of a loved one has been touched by divorce, mistreatment, addiction, or abuse, you may feel broken, even broken beyond repair. Carolyn Calton, a Christ-centered, self-worth, and relationship revitalization educator and coach, will help you find purpose as today's changemaker, chainbreaker, so you can turn stress, anxious thinking, anger, and dysfunction to hope, direction, happiness, and peace. Now, here's your host, Carolyn Calton.
Greetings. This is part 3 of my 3-part message titled Codependence, the Walking Wounded. Codependency can leave men and women feeling like the walking wounded. John Bradshaw, in his book Homecoming, says, quote, "Codependency is to be out of touch with one's feelings, needs, and desires," end quote. It's fostered in unhealthy family systems. It can go on for generations without being understood or noticed. It fosters the loss of self-identity. If you feel like you don't matter, codependent traits may be a large part of the cause. It is my belief that we can change this destructive tendency in our day and age. As a refresher, I hope you've had a chance to listen to Codependence, the Walking Wounded, parts 1 and 2. My message in part 3 today will be brief. Now let's look at another sign of unhealthy codependence. Enabling. Enabling is another sign of an unhealthy codependence. Mary Catherine Segota, a clinical psychologist at Counseling Resource Services in Winter Garden, Florida, describes enabling as a behavior that's used to ease relationship tension caused by one partner's problematic habits. Enabling behavior, which is rarely seen in healthy relationships, includes bailing your partner out, repeatedly giving him or her another chance, ignoring the problem, accepting excuses, always being the one trying to fix the problem, and constantly coming to the rescue. Codependent personalities usually follow a pattern of behaviors that are consistent, problematic, and directly interfere with the individual's emotional health and ability to find fulfillment in a relationship. End quote. Use my book, 3 Vital Stepping Stones to Feel Better About Yourself, and find out what can lead you to having less chaotic stress and more hope and direction for a brighter future. Learn what to do and what to avoid in order to feel better about yourself. If you're part of a dysfunctional family, in your quiet moments, you may view yourself as wounded, broken, or socially impaired. Sometimes you may feel angry, hopeless, good for nothing, valueless. Sometimes you may overcompensate and be talkative about yourself and all your accomplishments, and yet want to hide what was oh so wrong with your upbringing or with your life now because it embarrasses you and you don't want to be judged by other people. You may feel like you're protecting someone. These are quiet, often unexpressed feelings of the heart that cause stress. People around you may never know what you're really going through with these thoughts and feelings if you're getting up, going to work, or interacting with family, friends, or people who simply cross your path in any way. You may appear good at being an adult, yet people don't see that many times you're playing a role and really don't know what to do. You often feel stuck, unhappy, and you probably lack good role models in your home of origin. If you lived during your childhood or in your former relationships in a home full of dysfunctional behaviors playing out, or if you live now in a dysfunctional home and family, you may dread going home. You may be experiencing anxiety, depression, or post-traumatic stress disorder. There may be substance abuse, heated arguments, feuds, or the silent treatment going on. Psychological abuse or physical violence are all too common. Maybe your parents or you in your home act like a dictator or are emotionally detached. In dysfunctional families, chaos is normal. Achievements are often overlooked. You feel like you need to walk on eggshells, be constantly alert, and prepared for the worst. You're on high alert due to an unpredictable environment. Apologies are rare. You don't learn how to deal with emotions in a healthy way, and more. No wonder you may be out of touch with your thoughts, needs, and feelings. The good news is you have the power to make changes, and that change can start now. You are not unlovable, powerless, or responsible for someone else's happiness. You are responsible to take care of your own thoughts, feelings, attitudes, actions, values, and beliefs, and let other people take care of theirs. When you try to make someone happy and they're not satisfied, you set yourself up for codependency. Notice when you want to, quote, make someone happy, can you see how the concept of make can lead you to taking steps to force or manipulate outcomes as you try to control how they will feel or respond? Most times we are uncomfortable when they're not happy. So we'd like to do something to change that. We may be concerned about angry outbursts from them, receiving the silent treatment, or so many other responses. We may also truly want them to be happy, but our feelings and interactions are really enmeshed with theirs, and we oftentimes don't see clearly at all while determining what action to take. So again, when you try to make someone else happy and they're not satisfied, you set yourself up for codependency. Codependency is being excessively dependent on another person in an unhealthy way for validation, approval, or identity. Frustration and feelings of not being good enough will abound. You'll place an unreasonable burden on yourself if you try to meet all the needs and expectations of others. Most often, it's at the expense of your own well being. Trying to control what's impossible to control, meaning their thoughts, feelings, attitudes, actions, values, and beliefs, will only result in misery. What you do have is influence. You'll be happier when you foster healthy relationships. That effort does involve supporting each other's happiness while recognizing and respecting each other's individuality and right to make choices for themselves. Among other things, you can support and encourage others, care about and love them, create a nurturing environment, set healthy personal boundaries, practice empathy, focus on self-care, practice assertive communication. Your job is to do your job, nothing more. Take care of your own thoughts, feelings, attitudes, actions, values, and beliefs, and let other people take care of theirs. It's an effort worth making. My books, audiobooks, and courses are designed to help you strengthen your ability to live beyond codependence. Part of this excerpt has been taken from the Revitalize Your Inner Worth, Get Out of the Sludge course. You may also want to check out how to be of service without getting hooked, meaning getting hooked into losing your own sense of inner worth by getting hooked into guilt, confusion, rejection, self-doubt, frustration, resentment, and depression. In it, I teach The Life-Changing Materials of Marriage and Family Therapist and PhD, Ronald A. Newsom. The video presentation will help you learn how to think and act with positive intent, regardless of the circumstances you encounter. Let me help you break free and rise above destructive thought patterns, habit patterns, and family patterns so you can fill your highest priorities with full purpose of heart. Till next time, this is Carolyn Calkins.
Your ability to bounce back is possible, no matter your past. Carolyn will help you leave behind what's holding you back. Thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And to be sure to check out Carolyn's Renew You classes. You can find contact information, links to her social media, and more at FamilyTreeQuest.com.